10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Obviously, we were talking a lot about what was going on with what's going on with gun control and that issue. And obviously, this is a very political issue, especially in the United States. Talking about the Second Amendment and whether or not we want to go with the sanctuary cities or we want to take the approach of Bernie Sanders and some of the 2020 presidential candidates like Beto O'Rourke and some of the others that say that we need to get rid of the firearms because the only way to be safe is to take away every weapon, which ultimately means you're going to take away guns, you're going to take away knives, including your steak knife. They're going to take away baseball bats. They got to take away cars. I mean, where does it end? Where does it end? Because everything is technically a weapon. It's intent that should be the problem and should be the question. And that's really the issue. But when we're talking about politics, I want to talk about a few things there. I want to actually take a step back in time because you may recall that it was back at CPAC that just recently happened at the end of February.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Michael Vaughn.
That was a little bit loud. Sorry about that. But to bring it up, we were talking about CPAC and we were talking about our conversation with the director of Urban Red, Reverend Ralph Chittams, and he had been speaking with us about this, and it was a great conversation that we had with him, talking about a organization, Urban Red, which is seeking to help candidates at the lowest levels of government. Okay, just your regular average person looking to be city council, mayor, something of that nature. And so that's something that you don't see a lot of attention on. If you look at the parties, they always were worried about the big picture. I mean, the Republican Party, and I am a Republican, but Republicans, you talk about the Conservative Party, you talk about the Libertarian Party, you talk about the Democratic Party, they're always talking about the state races and above, the federal and state races. You don't really hear them come out about the local races. That's on individuals. But you know what? If you ever run a race, and I've run for Congress, but if you've ever been involved and helped people on their local races, there isn't a whole lot of support. So that's what Urban Red does. And they just came out with an announcement 2 hours ago today. So actually, I should be doing my wonderful, since it is breaking news. Newsflash. All right, folks. So the newsflash is that the Urban Red, which you can go to their Facebook page, I have it on the screen right now. Urban Red has just come out with one of their first of 25 candidates that they are looking to target and help in the 2019 and 2020 races at the local level. They have particularly picked Carol Swain for mayor, and that's a big deal, and that's a very important thing. Now, obviously, Dr. Carol Swain, she is going for the mayor of Nashville. And you can talk and look over the article to learn more about her. But we did want to mention that this is a follow-up on what we had spoken about at CPAC, that local races need help. Local candidates need help. And we have to do everything we can to help them. And Urban Red is an organization especially focused on Republican and conservative candidates, not Democrats, but conservatives and Republicans, especially those of color and or women, minorities overall. That is their focus, and they're following through on their promise and their message as they mentioned it at CPAC. And so that deserves some attention out there. And I know most of the major media won't be picking up on that, but you need to. Because if you're thinking of running for any office, you need to know. How do you prepare for that? How do you get set up for that? That's something that I had to go through myself. No one was there to help me and say, okay, this is how you get petitions done, which are going on right now in New York State. How do you get a petition? What does the petition have to say on it, or what it can't say? How many people do you need in your team? How much money does it cost? What do you have to do to get your literature out there, to write it up, to get it printed? These are all things that matter. What is your platform? Do you have a website? How are you speaking to people, and what are you speaking about? I mean, how are people going to know about these things unless you have people to talk to and to have conversations with? And unless you happen to know someone who's run, you really don't have a whole lot of sources at the local level. Far, far less resources than you would be expecting. And this is true whether you're a Democrat, a progressive, a libertarian, anybody, any of the parties. This is very consistent all the way through. And so that's why Urban Red is out there. And I definitely enjoyed my conversation with Reverend Ralph Chittams. And I think this is something that needs to be talked about a whole lot more than it ever gets talked about. But with that said, there are a few other things that I did want to talk about as well, besides referencing that. And if you haven't seen my interview with Reverend Ralph Chittams, I do advise you go to the YouTube channel at MV Consulting Inc. And check it out. It's a short interview. I think it's about 15-20 minutes. And it has a lot of information. I think you'll find it to be interesting. And I should mention again that on Saturday at 12:30, we're going to have the chairman of Americans for Fair Taxation, Steve Hayes, on the program speaking with us about the upcoming taxes for everyone in America. April 15th, it's right around the corner. It's less than 30 days away, and Americans are going to be paying taxes, which no one likes to do. But hey, since we have to do it, and since the government is running with taxes, let's try and find the best system we can, the most fair system that we can, to get those taxes out. That's what the Fair Tax Organization is about. So let's have that discussion, and let's see if there is some alternative to what Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez are saying about the answer is just raise more taxes, just raise the taxes up. Hello, everyone. Thank you. This is Michael, the host of No Soundbites Allowed. And we hope you had a chance to check out some of our videos, but we also want to invite you every Tuesday, every Thursday, starting at 1 p.m., and again on Saturday, starting at 12 noon, to join us at the Exceptional Conservative Network, where we will be live talking with authors, politicians, candidates, and other pundits that are helping to shape our government and our lives. We want you to be there too, and let us know what you think. But of course, if you can't make it, we understand, and that's why you can always go. You may also like some of the videos we've done in the past, or you can go and check out whatever is our latest video. But no matter what, we're looking to hear from you. So do leave us a like or a comment. And if you can, please don't forget to subscribe. We'll talk to you again soon.